Have you ever wondered why truly grounded men rarely argue with women? Why some men can maintain calm, confidence, and control, even when emotions are running high? It's not because they're weak. It's because they've mastered something most never learn: emotional discipline and inner strength. In this video, we're uncovering the Stoic reason behind why the most powerful men choose silence over shouting, restraint over reaction, and peace over proving a point. If you've ever found yourself in a heated moment and walked away feeling like you lost something, you're about to discover what you were really giving away. Subscribe to the channel, because what you're about to learn could completely shift how you handle tension, conflict, and connection. Let's begin. Part 1. Her emotion is not your responsibility. Just because she's upset doesn't mean you have to react. Her emotions are valid, but they are hers, not yours to carry or fix. One of the most common traps men fall into in relationships is the belief that they are somehow responsible for managing a woman's emotional state. She's sad, you try to cheer her up. She's angry, you rush to calm her down or solve the problem. She's anxious, you feel pressure to make her feel safe right away. While this comes from a good place, it often backfires. Because here's the truth: you're not her therapist, her savior, or her emotional mechanic. You are her partner. And as a Stoic man, your role is not to repair her, it's to remain present and grounded while she processes whatever she's feeling. Emotions are natural. They rise and fall like waves. Trying to stop them or control them only creates frustration, for both of you. What a woman often needs is not a solution. She needs your calm, your steady energy, your non-reactive presence. Stoic insight. Trying to control someone else's emotional experience is itself a form of losing control over yourself. When you take her anger or sadness personally, when you rush to fix or fight, you leave the grounded position of masculine leadership and enter into chaos with her. So what do Stoic men do instead? They allow space. They listen. They don't try to force her into feeling better, they simply create a calm environment where healing can happen naturally. Practical tools for responding calmly. 1. Deep breathing. When emotions start running high, focus on your breath. A slow, steady breath keeps your nervous system regulated and prevents knee-jerk reactions. 2. Speak slowly and calmly. Your tone matters. A calm, low, steady voice communicates safety and authority. It helps de-escalate the moment, even if she's emotionally elevated. 3. Don't take it personally. Remind yourself, this is about what she's feeling, not who I am. People often lash out when they feel overwhelmed. If you internalize her outburst, you lose your center. Example scenario. She comes home stressed, frustrated, and starts venting, maybe even snapping at you. The reactive man will say, "Why are you taking it out on me?" Or try to solve it immediately, "You should have just done this." But the Stoic man will calmly say, "I hear you. I can see you've had a long day. Let me know how I can support you." Then he gives space, without judgment, without taking her tone personally. Final reminder. Being emotionally available doesn't mean being emotionally entangled. You are most helpful when you are calm, clear, and anchored, not when you absorb her storm. The goal is not to control her mood, but to remain in control of your own presence. Part 2. Some arguments are emotional traps. Not every argument is about the issue being discussed. Sometimes, it's not about the words, it's about the emotional test behind them. Many men get caught off guard during arguments because they focus on what's being said, not what's really happening underneath. The truth is, a lot of emotional tension, especially in romantic relationships, isn't just about the topic at hand. Sometimes, a woman might express frustration or provoke a disagreement, not because she truly wants to fight, but because she's testing your emotional stability. This is important to understand. Some arguments are not about resolution, they are emotional traps. That doesn't mean they are manipulative in a harmful way. It means that subconsciously, she may be testing. Can he stay calm when I'm emotional? Is he steady under pressure? Is he emotionally strong enough to lead us through this tension? And if you take the bait, if you get angry, defensive, or emotional, you fail the test. Stoic men recognize this pattern. They don't react to the surface-level drama. They look deeper. They understand that emotional outbursts often stem from things like fear of being misunderstood, insecurity about the relationship, needing to feel emotionally safe, wanting reassurance without directly asking for it. Rather than arguing or defending, a Stoic man takes a step back. He sees the emotional flare-up for what it is, a moment of vulnerability wrapped in intensity. Quote from Seneca: "A quarrel is quickly settled when deserted by one party." This means you don't always have to win the fight. Sometimes, walking away from the battle ends the war, without ever needing to swing a sword. Practical advice: how to handle emotional traps. When you notice the energy shifting, when things are getting heated, circular, or emotionally intense, pause. Then say something like, "I hear you. But right now, this isn't a productive space for either of us. Let's revisit this when we're both calmer." This isn't avoidance. This is emotional leadership. You're setting a boundary, keeping your energy intact, and preventing the situation from turning into something damaging. Final insight: not all conflict needs a response. A Stoic man knows how to recognize when an argument is just a test in disguise, and he doesn't take the bait. Instead of fighting back, he leads with calm, patience, and clarity. That's how you protect your peace, and earn deeper respect. Part 3. Never let emotion hijack your masculinity. The moment you let your emotions take over, you begin to lose your masculine power, and with it, her respect. Masculinity isn't about dominance, aggression, or overpowering anyone. It's about grounded energy, being calm, centered, and in control, especially when things get tense. Think about it. A truly masculine man holds his center. He doesn't react wildly. He doesn't raise his voice to prove a point. He leads with presence, not panic. But when a man allows his emotions to hijack him, when he gets loud, defensive, or visibly shaken, he starts to lose the very thing that makes him attractive, his emotional stability. Women may not always say it out loud, but they instinctively respond to a man's energy. If your energy becomes chaotic in stressful moments, she will feel that. In fact, many emotional exchanges, especially during arguments, are subconscious tests. She wants to feel that you're steady, not because she's trying to break you, but because your grounded energy makes her feel safe. If you fail that test by overreacting, shouting, or shutting down, you send the message: "I can't handle intensity. I lose myself when emotions rise." And that's when respect begins to fade. When you raise your voice, you lower your power. When you stay calm, you raise your value. Real-world tip: how to stay grounded in the moment. 1. Be the calm eye in the storm. Even if she's emotional, frustrated, or venting, don't match her energy. Stay composed. She may be storming emotionally, but your job is to remain the center of calm. 2. Disarm escalation with tone and posture. Keep your voice low and steady. A calm voice sends a message of control. Don't fold your arms or look away nervously. Keep an open, confident posture. 3. Use fewer words, but choose them wisely. When you're grounded, your words carry more weight. You don't need to talk over anyone. Your stillness becomes your power. Example: instead of raising your voice or defending your position, try saying, "I understand this is important. Let's talk about it with clarity, not tension." That one sentence shows leadership, and avoids escalation. Final reminder for this section. Your masculinity isn't about being emotionless. It's about not letting emotions control you. The world, and your relationship, needs men who are anchored, not reactive. Stay grounded. That's where your strength lives. Part 4. You're not the therapist, you're the anchor. You're not here to fix her emotions, you're here to stand firm while they pass. Your strength isn't in solving everything, it's in being steady when everything feels shaky. One of the most common mistakes men make, especially in emotional relationships, is thinking they need to fix how a woman feels. She's overwhelmed. You jump into solution mode. She's venting. You try to explain away the problem. She's emotional. You feel the need to say the perfect thing to calm her down. But here's the truth, you're not her therapist. You're her anchor. Women, by nature, experience emotions in deep and powerful ways. That's not a flaw, it's a strength. But when you try to analyze, explain, or correct her feelings, she doesn't feel understood, she feels dismissed. What she's truly looking for isn't a solution. She's looking for presence, stability, groundedness. And that's where Stoic masculinity thrives. A Stoic man doesn't panic when a woman is emotional. He doesn't get drawn into the emotional spiral. He stays calm, centered, and open, offering space for her to return to equilibrium. Think of yourself like a lighthouse in a storm. The waves crash, the winds howl, the sea becomes chaotic. But the lighthouse stays still. It doesn't chase the storm. It just shines. That's your role in a moment of emotional chaos, not to explain, not to absorb, but to hold your ground and be emotionally consistent. Mindset shift, anchor, not analyst. Don't overthink or overanalyze her feelings. Don't feel pressured to say the right thing all the time. Just be present. Calm. Listening. Steady. When a woman feels your steady energy in the midst of her emotional expression, she begins to trust you on a deeper level. Why? Because you're proving you can hold space for her, not crumble under it. Example response, instead of fixing. When she's venting or expressing strong feelings, calmly say, "I hear you. I'm here if you need me." Or, "Take your time. I'm not going anywhere." That's what emotional strength sounds like. No panic. No problem solving. Just presence. Final thought for this section. Being a Stoic man isn't about becoming cold or distant, it's about becoming the safe place a woman can return to after the emotional tide rises. So stop trying to be her therapist. Be her anchor. Be the lighthouse. Be still, and shine in the storm. Part 5. Silence is a power move. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say, is nothing at all. Because when you go quiet, the entire energy in the room shifts. We live in a world where everyone wants the last word. People argue to be heard, to feel seen, or to prove a point. But Stoic men understand something deeper. You don't need to speak to show strength. In fact, when used intentionally, silence becomes a powerful form of communication. It's not about avoiding the conversation. It's about commanding presence without wasting words. A well-timed silence can set clear emotional boundaries, signal disapproval without raising your voice, de-escalate a situation without engaging in it, invite the other person to reflect on their behavior. Silence gives weight to your presence. And when a Stoic man chooses not to engage in verbal conflict, it sends a message that's louder than shouting. I will not lower myself into emotional chaos. Silence equals self-control. You're not ignoring. You're not dismissing. You're choosing not to feed the fire. Quote to remember. The right word may be effective, but no word was ever as effective as a rightly timed pause. Mark Twain. Real-life practice, use the power of the pause. Next time a woman speaks to you with aggression, disrespect, or overwhelming emotion, don't rush to respond. Instead, make eye contact. Stay grounded in your body. Say absolutely nothing. Let the silence hang in the air. That moment of stillness forces reflection. It's not passive, it's a conscious display of restraint. You're saying, I respect myself too much to argue at this level. This is how you train people how to treat you. When you don't feed emotional chaos, people stop bringing it to you. Example. If she says something unfair or disrespectful, instead of firing back, simply pause, look at her, and say nothing. If necessary, calmly say, I'm not going to engage in this kind of conversation. Then walk away or shift your attention. That silence? It speaks volumes. It tells her, and everyone else, that you won't play emotional games. Final insight for this section. Silence, when used with awareness and strength, becomes a weapon of emotional mastery. It's not weakness. It's restraint with purpose. The Stoic man doesn't always speak, but when he does, it's from a place of control, not chaos. So remember, when you go silent, you reclaim the energy. You shift the dynamic. You remind everyone around you, especially yourself, that your peace is not up for negotiation. Final message. Being a Stoic man doesn't mean you're passive. It means you're strategic, grounded, wise. You know which battles matter, and which ones are simply distractions. You don't stay silent out of weakness. You choose silence because your peace is too valuable to trade for temporary satisfaction. A truly strong man is not the one who wins every argument. He's the one who knows when not to engage at all. Stoicism isn't about running from conflict. It's about choosing clarity over chaos, and leadership over ego. If this message spoke to you, if you're ready to live with more strength, purpose, and calm in your relationships and your daily life, then subscribe to the channel. We're building something real here. More Stoic insights, relationship guidance, and inner strength training are on the way. And always remember, your calm is your superpower. Use it. Guard it. Lead with it.